Look at that, Lisa. We're live on Facebook, which
We're
is
live.
super cool
Are
because
we
I'm going to hit
recording?
and we are now recording to the cloud. And now I'm going to click one more button, and some unknown number of people are going to join us on this webinar. Are you ready?
Oh.
I have so much power. Here we go.
Hmm.
The webinar is now broadcasting, and people are starting to show up. The numbers are going up slowly, but we are on Facebook. I love you, Lisa, and you just said, can we do this? Because you're going to show us how to be in the world, and I think you're going to even illustrate it for us
Mhm. Yep.
and go for it.
Awesome. Well, people are coming in. So happy that you showed up. And if you want to put your name in the chat, that would be awesome. And I reached out to Cindy Krupp yesterday to ask her if we could do this. And she said yes. And so this is a 30-minute chat that we're just going to have. I wanted to really give a little bit about what I'm going to be offering this coming Saturday, September 26th, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. I'm doing a live and interactive Zoom workshop on healing, how to be in the world but not of it. And this is a gift bonus that I added in for anyone who signed up for the All Access Pass for the Pure Presence Summit, which happened last weekend, which was amazing. Who was there? It was amazing. And this was a project that my husband, Bill Free, had the idea to do months ago, months and months ago. And he's been working every day with an entire team of people and pulled together the most amazing presenters from Non-Duality, A Course in Miracles, Science, and Karen Drucker and Nada Boyne for music. So many people just said yes, and it was incredible to be right there live with all of you. It really feels like a new beginning. It really felt incredible to be with so many people from around the world live. And what I decided to do was to add in this 4-hour webinar. It's actually 5 hours from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., but we're going to do a 1-hour lunch break at 12 to 1 p.m. this coming Saturday. But what I'm going to do during the lunch for anyone that wants to join in is I'm going to keep the thing going. The Zoom recorder on everyone's videos will be on, and it will be like a cafe. You can have lunch there if you want. And so it's actually 5 hours, but if you want to take a break, that will be what will be happening. And there are several other presenters who are doing the same thing. So Oliver and Yolanda Blue have offered a live interactive webinar. Antoinette and Clifton Sawyer have also offering a live interactive webinar. Kelly Russell is offering one. There's many free gifts. I'll show you in a little bit the bonus page. You get all the recordings. You get behind the scene interviews that Bill Free did with almost all the presenters. He did 30-minute dialogues in awakening, and never been seen before. Never, been seen anywhere before, because Bill really brought everyone together. So what I wanted to do today is I actually want to show you what I'm going to do on Saturday. And again, you can only get into this webinar on Saturday with the All Access Pass. It's $127. And again, that's not just for my webinar. It's for everything, all the recordings, everything. So, but I really wanted to do this because one of the main things that I see and that I experienced for years and years and years is constantly getting triggered. Always just getting triggered by everything, really. And you name it. You know, I've had the spiritual concepts. I have A Course in Miracles. I had been practicing. So why was I still getting triggered? And what's up with that? Like, I guess that was the main thing. And one of the things that made me decide I want to come on today and do this just little mini, it's like a mini workshop, is one of the presenters is Marianne Williamson, and I love her so, so, so much. And she just knocked it out of the park with her talk. And I just love her. She had been in Houston, Texas. Her 19-year-old niece had passed unexpectedly. Many of you saw Marianne's posts on Facebook last week, and she was asked to go down to Houston to officiate the funeral. And she had 3 live workshop summits this weekend, and she showed up to all of them, right? And she started talking politics because she is a political activist, and she is using her voice because each one of us has a part to play. And who knows what anyone's part to play is. And it was interesting for me to see 700 people in the room, and Marianne started talking politics, and the board comments just started going crazy instantly. Like it was immediate. The second Marianne hadn't even finished a sentence, and people started posting, I'm so pissed off, I'm irritated, why is she talking about this? I didn't sign up for this conference for politics, I'm leaving. And I watched the numbers start to go down. People started leaving the room. So I was like, wow. And then people getting triggered from people getting triggered. So now it's this cascading thing going on in the comment area. And I thought, that's the condition of the world. That's exactly what many of us experience. Like, we think this should not be happening. That person shouldn't be saying this. I would be happy if something outside of me was different. So I want to show you some. I also want to give a big thank you to Cindy Crook. You are just like so darling to me. And thank you for, there you are. Thank you so much for all you do, for all the ways you show up, and just you're just something else. Don't we all just love Cindy?
I love
And
Cindy too,
yes, and Cindy loves Cindy too.
which is pretty cool.
And one of
And
the things,
I'll be there on Saturday.
and what would you say?
I said I'll be there on Saturday. All day
And
Saturday.
one of the things that I'm going to talk about today, I'm just, like I said, a little snippet from the weekend, this upcoming weekend, is not everyone's going to like you. In fact, some people are going to dislike you, and you may experience attack. And what I want to talk about this weekend is how to be in the world, how to do this. So I'm going to actually just show you a little illustration I made. I'm going to share my screen here. Let's see here. Share. Okay. So here is a little illustration I made, and this is kind of how my mind works. So I love the prodigal son story from the Bible, and it basically says, so here we are in the center, home. Home is where you're centered, you're connected, you're in joy, you're in peace. You are remembering that you are love, you are one with all, you have everything, you are everything. There's no fear, there's no worry, there's just this oneness. It's just like, you know who you are. So here we are at home, and the prodigal son story is, it wanders away. So we have this line here, and this represents you, disconnected from your center, thinking you're a body. And we have other bodies here in the world, these little circles here. So the world is it's not outside of your home, but I wanted to just give you a visual here. And this is something that I created for the Healing Cure program. And it's just a really fast way to ask yourself the question, where am I? So this says, what's your location? So your location isn't a space or a time. Like you might think, well, I'm in my office, I'm in my car, I'm in a job, I'm in a relationship, I'm in whatever. That's not what I'm saying for what's your location is where are you in this configuration? Are you centered? Are you at peace? Do you know your oneness with all your brothers? Or are you out here in sickness, suffering, and confusion, shame and blame and guilt? And that's how you know where you are, is by how you feel. So you're seeking but never finding, you're in body identification. And what we do here is we try to move around. I don't know if you guys can see my cursor here, if I can just see it, but I'm moving my little arrow around. What we do in the world when we're disconnected from ourselves is we travel around this gray circle. We talk to other people, we seek for solutions, the mind is very busy here. And so you just keep traveling around this arena where the gray circle is, and you sometimes pop in here, and then you back out in shame, blame, guilt. I'm irritated, I'm angry, I'm afraid, I wish this wasn't happening, I have no money, I'm sick, I'm all the things that happen when you're disconnected. So I'm going to be talking about this image this weekend, because there's another part to this, and that's this one here. I'm just going to get rid of that one, this one. So this little image here, this is A Course in Miracles. In the world, but not of it. So what happens in transformation is when you've left home and you've traveled outside here, the prodigal son travels into darkness, squanders his inheritance, forgets who he is, and doesn't know how to get home again. Home's always here. It's not anywhere further away than this moment right now. All the peace, all the joy, all the love, all the happiness, it's all right here. And so from this place, in my experience, the way to come home is to be still. Stop wandering around to find something to be different. Stop wishing people should be doing something differently. Stop. As soon as you feel an emotional response, reaction to anything, like you hear something you don't like and you feel yourself, acting up, like the phone rings, for example, and you see it's someone that you have had difficulty with in the past, and you immediately feel fear rising up. We have many, as humans, a lot of avoidance things that we do. We in fear, disconnected, we have all sorts of emotions that come up. So the practice then is, don't move. Just be still. And then you make the return back here home. You coming back to the center again, just in the stillness. My hand always goes right here to the heart. And this weekend, I want it to be really practical. I want to hear for that 4 hours, and then the 5 hours during, for those who stay for the cafe lunch. So many times, like when you can just see what you've been doing and you can pause, like for those who got irritated when Marianne started talking politics, to just take that moment to just pause And in the pause, this is where it gets really fun, is you're able to access wisdom and intelligence that you could not access before. In intuition, your inner guide, your inner physician, like if you're sick, which is out here, disconnected from self. And if you can be in this stillness, then something purely magical happens, truly. Like it's just like all of a sudden it's I want to call it different than information. Like one of the things that's interesting about the world we live in right now, it's just information overload. It's technology, it's cell phones, it's the internet, it's we're moving in my mind away from information to intelligence and wisdom and intuition. Like we're moving back to into a quieter space. So one of the things that I would suggest for those of you listening who maybe aren't going to attend on Saturday, like something practical that you can do to come back home, because again, of this I'm going to explain this a little more detail, is to take time away from the electronics, to stay in quiet, maybe get a journal, and really treat it as a sacred time, where as if you're really with another person, but you're with yourself in quiet. And begin to, in quiet, instead of going outside of yourself, instead of Googling, instead of going on Facebook and saying, hey, what do you think I should do? Hey, what do you think about this? Hey, what about this? Instead of going out, you're going to go in. You're going to find the quiet within. And you're going to notice straight away, I want to talk about this, is that the resistance to being quiet. The mind doesn't want to. It so does not want to find peace, even though it says it does. And you'll start to access, though, in the stillness, your inner guide that doesn't know time. It doesn't know space. It goes right out and brings back to you everything needed for the journey. It knows where you need to go. It knows where you need not to go. It will shut doors for you. It will open doors for you. But as long as you're in resistance mode, trying to fix, change, or improve your body condition, and you're fighting with yourself about the world, wanting it to be different, you don't have access. There's no connection. That's why I always use the word connection. It's like if your computer is unconnected, unplugged, it starts to lose power and energy until it dies. That's what happens as body identities. We don't have the power and the energy. It's there. Well, as soon as you plug your computer back in, that it starts getting power again, right? Same with us, with this energy, with this power and presence of God. So the second part, this is an exciting part, is when you do come back home. Now, when you come back home, you're going to go back out again. And that's what all of it's like you're standing in your center in the world, meeting another who's having a hard time, who's suffering, who's sick, who's sad, who's lonely, who's angry, who's irritated. But you don't lose your center just because you're in the world now. So now this is where it's exciting. So now this is exactly what's happening in the world right now at light speed. More and more individuals are having this experience of self-realization and being in the world in the middle of pain and dismantling and confusion. And so one of them, I'm just going to stop the screen now that you've seen that one. Stop share, come back here. Oh, good, you could see the cursor. Very good. Again, I'm only going to speak from my experience, but I feel it's almost like I love the idea of a hummingbird. I feel like it's my power animal, but as light workers, as those who are connected in the world, it's like we touch things very gently, and we don't get sucked into people's stories anymore. We don't get sucked into the news. We don't match someone else's energy field or vibration, and they don't have to change their vibration. That doesn't irritate you. They get to be exactly as angry as they want, as they can do whatever they want. We are here now in the world carrying this joy and this peace to them who suffer still. So now you have eyes to see. Like you now come as a light. As Jesus 2,000 years ago said, I send you as sheep and doves among wolves. And so many people say, I don't want to go into the world. It's too scary. I lose my center. I lose my connection. I just want to stay, in my quiet God space. And I want to just stay, where I feel safe. No, we've been sent here to do this. This is us, guys. And this is what I want to talk about on Saturday. I love live and interactive. And what's going to happen, in my experience, is people are not going to like it. You are threatening their establishments. And for me, as I carry the light, as like people say things to me, some people love me and they just think I'm the best, and people really don't like me. They think I'm selfish, a fake, a fraud. My happiness isn't real. I've got my head in the sand. I'm spiritually bypassing. I'm making the world real. I'm all about money. I've heard everything. So each one of us who is making a decision to do this work, to be here in a bodysuit, like the oneness is now coming through different bodies. We're speaking as one now. And you really have to get comfortable in the discomfort, to not people please, to not, when people want you to defend yourself and explain yourself and whatever somebody is saying, that you're able to hold your center. And there is a way to do this. It's not difficult. And one of the things I love the most about this past weekend at the Pure Presence Summit, is to see the community. And I loved seeing connections being made on the summit that go offline. Like people give each other their phone numbers, they have their own Zoom calls. That's what I'm all about. Like, I'm all about, like, all right, I want to meet people. I want to, like, right now we're on a sort of a presentation thing where I don't see you, but on Saturday they'll all have our videos if you want to come on video. And let's see here. And I want to just put up one more screen share. I want to show you. I'm new to this. Okay, here we are. And this here is Cindy's going to put a link up. And this is all already over. It ended on Sunday. But you can still get the all access pass. And when you get to this website, you'll see this. And it's under bonus offers is this page. And this is the page that's going to show you, you're going to have for those of you who have already signed up for the all access pass, you don't need to do anything today, except make sure you go to your member area. So you would have gotten an email, and go into your email and make sure you click to register for Saturday for me. So you can see these are the all access pass gifts. You get all the recordings from 30 presenters, all the music, like 26 or 7 never been seen before interviews that Bill Free did with almost every presenter. And then this first one, a healing session with your inner physician. That's mine. So, and you can see here, Clifton and Antoinette Sawyer have a live webinar. Oliver and Yolanda Blue have a live one. Maria Felipe has her 7-day True Happiness Challenge. Miranda McPherson has the grounding practice. You get Awakening You downloadable book by Azira. Oh my God, there were so many amazing presentations. Hers was one of my favorite. Sheva also was another good one. Azira has it's literally identical, the same healing and awakening story. She expresses it slightly different. Tama Keeves is doing a 90-minute virtual workshop. Kelly Russell is doing an online workshop. Mary Linehan has a free ebook. And so you just click on this all access pass thing, and it's this 127 price. So you see there's a 190 price. Click on this one and it's going to give you everything. So I just wanted to share that with you. And you want to come back, Cindy?
Okay.
There you are.
The sun's been coming right at me. So.
Dalian says, I'm already registered for Saturday, but I'm also taking Marianne Williamson's workshop. Oh, that's awesome. That is going to be so good with Jennifer McLean. And so, yes, Saturday will be recorded, and everyone who signs up for the All Access Pass, I'm also going to have a transcription made of the entire 4 hours. So you'll get the recording and you will get the transcript also. And if you have a question you want to see answered, just email it to me. And anybody who can't be there and wants to, share something. And you can pop in also if you have a break or something and you want to just pop in, come on over. Do you want to add anything? You want to add anything?
Well, they want to know what email to send the questions to.
Yep, it's lisa@lisanatoli.com. And this slide just made me say, oh, I get it out loud. And that's the fun part, like this is a quickening. Jesus calls, in the Course in Miracles, calls this a celestial speed up. And I can tell you, like this morning I had a call with a friend who's just having a very, very, very hard time. And was crying, just really in a not good place. And that was just one demonstration, there's like the phone rings and someone's really needs help. And what often happens in spiritual work is we avoid it. We think, oh, this is not for me. We either get sucked into it or we start avoiding. What if there's a way to not lose your connection, but kind of click in with their vibration just for a moment, like a hummingbird, like it just clicks long enough. So like one of the things I was saying is sometimes when people, if you watched me with other people, you might think I'm getting sucked into the story. I'm not. I know exactly what I'm doing. It's like being a warrior in Carlos Castaneda. You inside there's joy, there's just peace. But that might not be the appropriate response in that moment for that person. Like if somebody's just told me they have received a cancer diagnosis and a breast is coming off, I'm not going to be like, oh, there's no world. Oh, be happy. That's not helpful. Like Jesus tells us in A Course in Miracles exactly how to meet someone where they think they are, but you don't believe it. And you vibrate with them just long enough, like, oh, I'm here for you. Tell me more. Just what, and that's why you have to begin practicing accessing all of this intelligence and wisdom. because it's not us, the bodies, that are doing it. It's this oneness that's connected with this other that's suffering. And how do we do? So we're going to have this conversation using somebody as your mirror, like, and letting them see the truth in you, then they see themselves in you. Like that's where this becomes what Jesus calls in A Course in Miracles, our final happy game on earth. This is it. This is it, guys. And this makes 2020 like an extraordinary year to remember forever, because not only will you begin to realize yourself, but you'll begin to recognize there's nothing to fear anywhere. You don't have to hide in your house doing meditations over and over and reading the Course in Miracles, hoping nobody calls. This is a very active collaboration now, where you just can click with another quickly and then you leave. You go back to home base again. And that's where some of these people won't like this. They want you to listen longer. They want you to give them a solution. But our job is just to touch them lightly and then let them know their power to figure it out. And they have to come home. Because your light, you giving light to another continually, is not helpful to them. People know, that's why people who are empaths feel so drained all the time. They keep trying to give light to people. That's not how this is. It's like, they have things called vampires, like, I don't believe in that term, but that's the feeling of it. Is like, you're giving light to someone in your time and your support and your love, but they want more. They want more. They want you to stay in the dark with them. But you have to go, no, no, no. You don't say it out loud, but you're like, okay, love you. They have to make the journey home themselves. So
So I do have something to say. Do you want me
okay,
to say it before we end?
definitely.
We have 1 minute before we hit that 30-minute mark.
Okay.
And I think what I want to say very clearly is that word-wise, the message is really very simple. I've been listening to you for a couple of years now and studying the Course, and the more I do this work and the more I hang in the different communities we're involved in, the more I understand that the message, the actual teaching, is very, very simple. The reason you keep showing up, the reason I keep hanging out in this group, is because it's the practice, it's the choice, it's the decision. I almost feel like when we say yes to these things and we're hanging out in this space and we spend Saturday doing this work, it's like we're bathing in truth. And we don't even need to know how it works. It's just having that conversation. As long as we're willing to be bathed in truth, as long as we're willing to have everything that's not the happiness that we are to be healed, then it is. We just have to keep saying yes. So I'm really excited by how many people I know have already hung out with us in this last half hour, and how many people may hang out with us more. And so I'm extending my love and my light and my joy and a real clear invitation. People might hesitate to spend $127, and I'm just thinking about how much I would pay to spend the day with you for 5 hours, and it's a lot more than that. So
Well,
I'm
that's
really
exactly
excited.
how I feel too, because like, that's part of it too. Like the money part is that circle outside, is where we hang out there. Like, I was thinking this weekend, all the events I've ever gone to, I spend that money on a bus ticket just to get there, or a hotel, or a plane ticket, or the meals it cost me to be there. And so now what's happening is like, it's all online. We get to do it from the comfort of our home. And again, this cost isn't even just for this. This is a bonus. This is a gift I threw in. Like, that price is actually for the
Oh,
recording.
I actually didn't put the link here. Here's the other thing, which I've just been watching. Um, is the fact that I'm in and out of a lot of non-dual and Course in Miracles communities. And the only thing anybody seems to be talking about right now was, were you at the summit? Which was your favorite call? You know, people are telling me about the pause for love method. That I just walked away from that conversation. People are talking about Marianne. People are falling in love with Carol Howe and Rupert's teaching and Jonathan. They were telling me about, I have to go and see Jonathan, Shiva, like all, I mean, people for the last couple of days, all I've heard, even from people I didn't know were going to the conference, were calling me up going, did you just see that? It kind of blew me away. Like the effect, the long range ripple effect
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
what
I
these
felt the
talks are
same way.
giving.
Like I just saw it. I mean, I've been at this for 30 years now. I've heard all sorts of teachers, and there was things I heard this weekend that for me, it was realizing we are all in the same place. I mean, for me, the ones were Sheva, Azira, Penny Pierce. I heard Mary Lenahan. We've been getting emails all day about that one. Rupert Spira. I mean, it's just like more and more people are like going, oh my God, this is happening. I want to get on board here. Like, you don't have to suffer. It's like coming from all these different expressions. And that's the part I always encourage as a teacher, is for everyone to start to recognize their own power. A teacher can be very helpful for a moment, just a moment, like with that illustration I just showed you. Maybe you had an aha, like, oh my God, I get it now. Like I get it. I understand now. Just to carry this light in the middle of this world. And then from there, that's where you start to receive your own inspiration. Now the channels light starts to open more and more. And so I'm very excited. Yeah, I love last weekend, and I'm excited for this weekend. So for everyone here, if you're already signed up for the All Access Pass, thank you so much for doing that. The money really does go to help, like, pay just everyone. All the presenters did it for free. And so to be able to pay for all the platforms to make it happen, the team that made it happen, just we're very grateful for your generosity. And you know, we want to just keep giving. We wanted to just keep going. Okay, what else can we add to the bonuses? Okay, what else can we add to the gifts? And so if you have an All Access Pass, just go into your member area. Make sure you click on the registration links for the ones you want to attend. And if you don't have one yet, just click on this link and click on the 127, not the 190. And yeah, some of you guys got in early. So if you got in early, you would have gotten an early bird pass.
Info at Pure Presence Productions, right?
Yeah, it's
.com.
this one. It's this link right here. In
With
Daily,
any questions?
You definitely, that's an All Access Pass. So you just go into your member area. I actually think you're signed up. I think I looked at my attendee list this morning. I think I saw your name there. So I think you've already signed up. So thank you all for being here. Thank you, Cindy.
I love you, Lisa.
Love you guys.
I love the 100 or so we have. There's at least a little over 100 people watching us right now. And so I'm just taking this moment and like just feeling the love, and it's tingling. And I think we're going to have to go and dance before we do anything else.
Yes.
I love you too, Dalian.
Love you.
I'm excited.
I am too.
Bye-bye, everyone.